Hi guys, welcome back to the Library of Alexandria. And today guys, slightly late. I swear, everything's not gonna be late, just my wrap-ups. Today we're gonna do my February TBR. In addition, I will also be announcing the next 4 months, so this month through May, slightly delayed on this announcement as well, this month through May of the Shelf Space Book Club picks. Back in November, I had to step down from running the book club over there every month because I just couldn't keep up with it, and so some of the other mods over there we've been taking turns, and so my slot is coming up again, as well as the things that are coming before that. So, without wasting any more time, let's get down into it. So the first book I'm going to be reading this month is Boosh, The Company by KJ Parker. This was my patron book pick, so I cannot read one book that the patrons pick for me every month. I just can't do it. So I do every other month, and all my patrons get to put suggestions on a wheel, depending on how many suggestions they get to put, depends on their tier, their patron tier, and then I spin the wheel, and whatever comes up is what I read. There was much weeping and gnashing of teeth when I got The Company by KJ Parker, because as you know, no one likes Parker except me and Zara. And fun fact, Zara didn't even put this on here. It was my wonderful friend and patron, Sharon Dwyer, who put this on the wheel, and so I'm going to read it this month. As you can see, I've already begun it. This is my Commander Vimes bookmark, if you can see that. It's not going to go into focus, but there's Vimes. So, this is a multi-POV standalone. We're almost done with KJ Parker's standalones, and this was his first standalone. The only other real multi-POV standalone was Sharps, which was our least favorite of the Parker books we've read. But in the 100 pages or so I've read of this so far, I already like it more than Sharps. This is about 6 friends who joined the military academy when they were lads, and they went and fought off to war, and one of them died, 4 of them got out of the military as soon as they could, and 1 stayed for another 7 years, and he is back and cashing in on a promise they all made long ago, where they're going to move and colonize this abandoned island and create this ideal republic. If you haven't read Parker before, please know it's not going to go that way. It's going to go horribly wrong. There is a sort of ominous feeling when reading a KJ Parker book that you're just waiting for the other shoe to drop. So, who knows how this is going to end up, but I'm excited to be reading it. Next on the list we have Boosh, and this is The King's Blood by Daniel Abraham, book 2 of the Dagger and Coin series. So this has been on my TBR a bunch. Last year I read Dragon's Path in June, and hadn't read this second book yet. So I actually last month listened to Dragon's Path again on audio, and then started this. I'm already done with this. I read this so fast. It's so good. It's even better than it's like significantly better than the first one. I cannot wait to read the third one, but I am tired of not having read Daniel Abraham's solo bibliographies. So I'm going to be working my way through one of these a month, if I can get it. They're about 500 pages, which is really my limit right now. I'm so sick of these long books. But it was excellent. I read it so fast. This just continues what happened in Dragon's Path. I can't really say a ton of it other than the magic really has to do with truth. Like, it was a really cool magic system that involves kind of information manipulation, which is really freaking cool. And Daniel Abraham continues to put forth some of the best character work in fantasy that I've read, especially these really put upon, hard on their luck type of characters. Absolutely fantastic. Just read Daniel Abraham, guys. Get past the first book that's slow and then read them. You will not regret it. Next on this list, we have Boosh, The Emperor's Blades by Brian Staveley, book 1 of the Chronicles of the Unhewn Throne. And this is the beginning of February of the Unhewn Throne. So, after every read-along, I put a bunch of series that I want to read on the wheel, spin 3 of them, and then my Discord votes on which one is going to be our next one. And this won by a handy margin. So this is a trilogy. We'll be reading this through April. This is book 1. Thus far, people's reactions are pretty lukewarm. I haven't seen anybody give it the 5-star seal of approval. But that doesn't necessarily mean anything. We will be having a live show discussion at the end of the month or at the beginning of the next month, just like we always have for our read-along books. Thus far, it looks like it's going to be Sarah Reeds and Jimmy from the Fantasy Network joining me, and one other. I haven't actually reached out to them yet, so we will see, but stay tuned for announcements on that. So this book is about an emperor who died, and his 3 or 4 children are scattered to the 4 winds, and they have to come and figure out why he died, and I guess stop people from assuming control or whatever. And like one's a soldier, one's a scholar, one's a monk, or whatever it is. So this is Staveley's debut novel. I have a lot of leeway for debut novels. I mean, you're not better when you start than you are after some books under your belt. Plus, from what I understand, Staveley was a teacher before becoming a writer full time. So we will see what all that is about. In addition, carrying over from my TBR last month is an arc I got from NetGalley and Subterranean Press, which is The Long Game by KJ Parker. KJ Parker is he just hits it out of the park with these freaking novellas. They're so good, and they're so short, and so easy to read, and they are always a gut punch. Purple and Black is, a fantastic novel. Blue and Gold was also excellent, if I didn't like it quite as much as Purple and Gold. As I said, this is about some random woman who shows up at this monastery where people exorcise demons, and she's able to communicate with them, and who knows what is going to happen. I can guarantee you that there's going to be something miserable in it that happens, because that is a Parker book. They are filled with just human misery, while doing it with a smile. So I'll be reading that. In addition, I love novellas, and I'm trying to read a couple every month. Rather than reading a Brian McClellan novella, which I read 2 of last month, I think this month I will be reading The Emperor's Soul by Brandon Sanderson. So I don't have any idea what The Emperor's Soul is about. Here are the things that I know about Emperor's Soul. Is 1, it takes place, I guess, in the same world as Elantris, but you don't have to have read Elantris to understand it. And 2, it's arguably the best thing that Brandon Sanderson has ever written. I told Jake from Jake Bishop that I would read it, and so I'm going to. Many people have said it's excellent, absolutely phenomenal work, so I'm going to read it. It's a novella, and, I've enjoyed my time with Sanderson, having finished Hero of Ages recently, and I'll be starting Mistborn Era 2 at some point here in the near future. If all of that, if I happen to somehow work my way through those, I still have The Scarab Path, Book 5 of Shadows of the Apt, that I didn't get to last month because of reasons, and also 6 of Crows, which I must read. Guys, I'm so itching to do another challenge video, blindfold book challenge or dialogue test or whatever, but I gotta do my punishment first, so 6 of Crows will be out at some point. And so finally, I will also be listening to Boosh, Full Moon by Jim Butcher, book 2 of the Dresden Files. I listened to Stormfront, and I liked it even more than when I read it. I don't really like reading books I haven't read before on audio, if they're not like historical fiction, because I've been able to read those just fine. But everyone has told me that listening to the Dresden Files is just as good as reading them, that if you're going to do this with a fantasy series, it should be this one, because at least it's set in Chicago. There's not a ton of, fantasy location world building. So this one is about werewolves. That's all I know, and that it's not super popular. Again, you always hear the first 4 just okay, and then they really start to pick up. I will definitely be continuing one a month probably with the Dresden Files on audio. I know Jimmy at the Fantasy Network and I are going to do some collabs on Dresden. I don't know if we're going to do them every 2 or maybe after the first 4. I don't know, but stay tuned for more info about that as well. But Jimmy and I will definitely be talking about Dresden as we are both working our way through the series for the first time. And so that is all of the books that I will be reading in February. So from there, I want to move on to what is coming up in the coming months on Shelf Space. As you know, Shelf Space is a huge Discord, huge community. It is where me and so many of my friends all met and kind of got our starts on BookTube. We owe so much to Jessie May, who had built that wonderful community before we all kind of branched off and started communities of our own, but that is our home base. And she has, since the beginning, so since June of 2020, so almost 2 years now, she has had a guest every month where they choose a book and the community reads it together, and there's a live show and they discuss it. So for the month of February, the read-along will be hosted by Jessie over at A Bookish Mom, and her co-host will be Brightness Katie Reads from the channel of the same name, and they will be reading City of Lies by Sam Hawke. I have heard completely mixed things about this book. It is on my TBR. I want to read City of Lies at some point. It's part of like the Poison Saga or something. I haven't read it. I'm probably not gonna get to it in February, but I will be tuning into that live show to see how that went. So stay tuned for more information, or check out the Shelf Space Discord to see when that live show will be. Now, what a treat we have for you in March. In March, the month of mine birth. That buddy read will be hosted by Abby over at Abby Salter, and her co-host will be Stephanie, the wonderful Stephanie from Stephanie's Bookverse. And they will be reading, get this, The Fellowship of the Ring. So, if you are a diehard Tolkien fan, come check out that discussion, get involved with the Discord chat, and if you have been waiting for a time to start Lord of the Rings or restart Lord of the Rings, now is a fantastic time. So, again, go check out Abby or the Shelf Space Discord for more information about that live show. And then in April, the host will be Vish over at Books with V, and her co-host will be Joanna Sousa. And their book is, and a ton of people, y'all are gonna be so excited about this, their book pick for April is Empire of Silence by Christopher Rocchio. So this is the first book in the Sun Eater series. This is becoming the series that is recommended to me most often. Abercrombie is still the highest. But there are a bunch of people who know my taste who say that I would love this series. In fact, the only reason that I haven't picked it up yet is because it's too long. But they will be discussing this, so all of you Sun Eater, fanatics, y'all need to go talk with them about this series. Go join in the live show and, spread the good news of the Sun Eater series as far as you can. I don't know what my April TBR is going to look like, but maybe I'll get around to joining with that one, so we'll see. I know there's a bunch of people who would love for me to read Sun Eater that month. And in May, I will be hosting the read-along in May, and the best part is my co-host is going to be none other than the Lord of the Estate, the boss that lives in the manor house. That is Jessie from the channel Jessie May. She has had to step back because she has a new baby, and I was like, you know what, it's my turn. Jessie, do you want to host? And it'll be reversed, when you were the host and I was the co-host, so it's going to be reversed. So I'm so excited that she agreed to come on that in May. Jessie and I have a lot of the similar tastes on books. We tend to, in fact, I'm trying to think of something that we've broadly diverged in, and I can't really think of anything yet. But we will be reading The Tiger and the Wolf, book 1 of Adrian Tchaikovsky's Echoes of the Fall series. So this is about shape changers, people that change into wolves, people that change into tigers, and who knows what else. I think one of them is half tiger, half wolf, because their parent was assaulted by one of the other clans, and I don't really know anything else. I do know that I love Tchaikovsky, I love his writing style, I love his world building. I am going to read everything of Tchaikovsky's anyway, so this will be a fantastic opportunity to jump into this series. If you've been wanting to try something else Tchaikovsky, come read this first book with us over on Shelf Space. Again, all of the information about all these wonderful channels and Shelf Space will be down in the description below. So guys, that is all I have for February. What are you most excited to be reading in February? And do you think I would like Empire of Silence? So guys, as always, information about my Patreon and Discord is going to be down in the description, and I'll see you next time, guys.